guys, so I decided this week to talk about a couple of books that I absolutely adore, and yeah, so basically I think reading is really important. I love books. I don't actually go anywhere without a book in my bag, or at least in my hand. Like I can literally go for a 5-minute car journey and I will sit and have the book in my hand. Doesn't matter where I'm going, what I'm doing, anything, I always have this book in my hand. And yeah, so I just thought I would go through a couple of them with you. Sorry, the reason that I'm kind of looking this direction is because they're all sitting in a pile right beside my laptop. So yeah, I just gonna quickly just pull some of them over so I can actually reach them, because they've kind of all fallen over because they're all sitting on my bed, because that's where I am right now. And yeah, so as I said, I love reading, and like as a kid I hated it. It was like my worst nightmare. And then I read this book and it was called The Butterfly Lion, and it was by Michael McCurgle, and I absolutely loved it, and to this day it's one of my favourite books of all time. And yeah, it got me into reading and I kind of went from there. So the very first book that I want to talk to you guys about today is Once Upon a Time, A Twisted Tale. So this is based on the story of Sleeping Beauty by Disney. As you can tell, it's also a Disney book. But yeah, basically it is the story of how Sleeping Beauty never woke up and what happens in her dreamland, basically. So in this story, Maleficent is kind of in charge. She's like the queen, and she's in charge of everything and everyone, and she tries to keep Aurora asleep as long as possible. And it's about the story of how Aurora kind of has to somehow get out of her dream state and wake up. Now I've read a couple of these Twisted Tale books and I absolutely love them. So I'm just gonna quickly see if this has inside anywhere, any of the other ones that are available. It doesn't seem to, but I know that they definitely have Tale as Old as Time, which is obviously a like Beauty and the Beast spin-off. They also have A Whole New World. That one's on the back of the cover, so it's obviously like a spin-off of Aladdin. There's one called Reflection, which is all about Milan. I haven't read that one, but I do own it, I've just not read it. And there's like a couple of other ones as well, and out of the ones that I've read, I absolutely love them. Like, they're so well written. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's just like Disney. Like, it doesn't matter how old the person that reads it is, they will very much enjoy it. And you can get these in Asda's. I can't remember how much they are now, but like when I bought them they were £4. So yeah, these are incredible. So I definitely recommend that if you are a Disney fan, you go and read these because they're incredible. It's not like a series, like you can pick up any book and it's like all individual stories, just like the movies and stuff. The covers, I don't know if you can see like how detailed the cover is. Excuse the mark in the corner, because I accidentally dropped something on it and it marked it, but yeah, it's really, the pictures are really detailed. The writing inside, just let me, so the writing isn't like massive, but it's not tiny, and yeah, it's just like, these books are so good, and I would definitely recommend them if you like Disney. Like, even if you don't like Disney, they could probably still be really good, because I mean, it's like not the prince gets the princess, or Snow White wakes up, or you know what I mean, it's not like the usual Disney stories. It's like proper like twisted tales. So yeah, they're just really good. That's all I can say, to be honest. I would definitely say that they are worth a read, and if you really like Disney, go and check them out because they're incredible. So sticking on my theme of Disney, just because it's here in front of me, I have 2 books from a series called The Kingdom Keepers, and so there's actually 7 books in the first series of The Kingdom Keepers, and I don't have book number 1 with me at the moment because I finished reading that last week. Was it last week? Maybe it was last week. I don't remember. Well, I finished it recently, so I've got the Kingdom Keeper website up just so I could kind of give you a quick glance at the Kingdom Keepers. So this is the first book. So this is what the cover of the first book looks like. It is called Kingdom Keepers Disney After Dark. Disney After Dark. And so the books are based in Orlando. They are based in the Disney World parks, and they are very much Disney related, obviously. So the first one is, so basically just to give you some background detail, the first one is set in Magic Kingdom, and it's about 5 kids who are turned into Disney interactive holograms, or DHIs, and they basically are supposed to guide guests through the park and tell them where things are and things like that. And basically these 5 kids get to turned into these holograms, and at night they get taken to the park instead of sleeping, and basically they have to solve puzzles and solve mysteries, and then defeat the Overtakers, who are the bad guys in the story. And there are 7 parts to this story, and as I said, I don't have book 1 here, but I do have book 2, and I do have book 3. So book 1, as I said, is Disney After Dark. Book 2 is this one here. It's called Disney at Dawn. So book 1 is based in Magic Kingdom, book 2 is based in Animal Kingdom, book 3 is Disney in Shadow, and it's based in It's based in Epcot and Hollywood Studios. There we go. I knew it was one of the ones that I hadn't mentioned, but they do mention Blizzard Beach and a Typhoon Lagoon and stuff like that. They do mention things out with just the 4 normal parks. I don't know what book 4 is about. Let me just check. Come on, load. So the first book is Magic Kingdom, the second book is Animal Kingdom, third book, which is this one here, is Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Book 4 is called Power Play, and it is based in Downtown Disney, or what is now known as what's it called? I don't know. It was Downtown Disney, I can't remember what it's called now, but Downtown Disney. And then the 5th novel is in, it's on the Disney cruise lines, so the 6th book is, I'm pretty sure it's on the Disney cruise line as well. Yeah, it's on the Disney cruise line as well. And then the final book is, let me see, oh, it's in Disneyland. it's in Disneyland. So the other books are based in Disney World, Walt Disney World. So they are based in America, in Florida, and I'm not sure if this Disney World is Disneyland is Disneyland California or Disneyland Paris, because they're both classed as Disneyland. I really hope it's Disneyland Paris, because that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so these books are definitely for Disney lovers. They're great. They're just incredible. Like, I finished the first one maybe a week ago, maybe almost 2, and I'm almost finished the second one. Like, I can't put them down. Like, it's so bad, I can't put them down. I have read the first one about 20,000 times. I have read the second one about 10,000 times. I've read the third and fourth one once each, and then I've never read 5, 6 or 7, which is why I had to look them up on the website to tell you guys about them. But I know people that have, and they tell me they're incredible, and I'm currently working my way through them, as you know, shown. So so that is this is book 2 and 3, as you can tell by the side. And just to, I never told you who they were by. So they're by a guy called Ridley Pearson. You can only buy them in America, unfortunately, or on possibly eBay or Amazon. I have seen a couple of them there, but so they actually have their own website dedicated to the Kingdom Keepers, because there's 2 series towards the Kingdom Keeper books. So they have the Kingdom Keepers books, like the ones that say Kingdom Keepers on them, and then they also have the Return books. So as far as I'm aware, there is 2, 3, I believe there's 3. I believe there's 3 books in the Return series, and then there's 7 books in the Kingdom Keeper series at the moment. I don't know if there's going to be many more in the Return series, because obviously I haven't read them yet, but they're all, well, the first one's definitely based in Disneyland. Let's see if they all are. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, yeah, so I would definitely go and pick out the Kingdom Keepers books, just because they're so good. Like, they're so well written. They are Disney, so if you love Disney, go and read them. You can actually buy them in the Disney parks in Florida. I'm not sure about anywhere else, because I haven't visited any of the other Disneys since buying the first book, but I have definitely seen the first, second, third Kingdom Keepers books in Disneyland, so in Disney World, sorry, not Disneyland. But so if you are a massive Disney fan, I would say definitely go and check them out, and definitely check out the Twisted Tale series as well, because they're incredible, all of them. So moving on to slightly, well, more upsetting subject for most people, is the Tattooist of Auschwitz. So this is based on a true story of the man who basically was told that his job in Auschwitz was to tattoo everybody coming in. So yeah, it's based on a true story, and all I'm going to say is it's really, really good. I know that I have read it, and at parts it reduced me to tears, because it is quite an emotional book, but it's so detailed in a way of you actually feel how the character feels, like, and obviously it's like a real person, but like the character in the book, like you know what I mean, but but you actually feel how these people feel, and you can kind of not relate to them, but you can kind of imagine what they went through, but like not to the extent they actually went through it, obviously, because like we weren't there. But it is so good, and I really like stories like that. Like, I like stories that are like, oh yeah, like I survived this. I love stories like that. Don't ask me why, I just do. And I have watched a few stories where it is Auschwitz, for example. I just love those types of books. And if you're interested in the Second World War, or what went on in these camps and how people were basically treated and stuff, like, obviously, like, people know that loads of people died, but like, you don't actually know what actually happened. So reading stuff like this, it makes it almost like you can understand kind of what actually happened, instead of hearing like, oh yeah, like hundreds of thousands of people got killed, and that was it. Like, people were forced to do things they didn't want to, and people were actually prosecuted as working for the Nazis, basically, because they tried to do something that would keep them alive. So yeah, you can kind of like, yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it, but I absolutely like would 100% recommend that book. It was so good, and yeah, like, it obviously like pulls your heartstrings and stuff, but like, it's so good. So like, if you get the chance, definitely go and read this book, because it's so good. So the next two books I am going to talk about are kind of from the same world, if you know what I mean. But the first book is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or if you're American, Sorcerer's Stone. But yeah, I absolutely love the Harry Potter series. They are one of my favourite series on the whole entire planet. I have read every single Harry Potter book at least about 20-30 times, and the only chapter of any of the Harry Potter books I have not read is the very, very last chapter of the very, very last Harry Potter book. So yeah, I physically cannot read it, because I sit there and go, oh my god, like, that's going to end it, and I'm a massive Harry Potter fan and I don't want it to end, so I just can't finish that book. Obviously, we now have the like Fantastic Beasts series, which she is currently writing screenplays and creating the movies for, but then we also have The Cursed Child, which obviously happens after Harry Potter, but and obviously the Fantastic Beasts is before, but I physically can't finish the Harry Potter series. I just can't do it. I don't know why. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is probably my favourite book out of the whole series, just because it's the first one, and because you get to meet all the characters, or most of them anyway, and it is just, I don't know, who's your favourite character and why, and tell me down below, because, and I'll just tell you mine, because my favourite character out of the whole lot has to be Seamus Finnegan, because it just feels like it would be me if I was in Harry Potter. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything but put things on fire, or blow things up. That sounds about right. So yeah, my favourite character is Seamus, closely followed by Fred and George Weasley, but that's just because they're awesome. So yeah, tell me down below who your favourite characters are, because I absolutely love the Harry Potter series, and I'm really curious to see who everybody's favourite is. Also, what is everybody's thoughts on Dolores Umbridge, because personally I hate her. Like, she's such a good villain though. Like, the actress that plays her, I can't remember her name, but the actress that plays her, I was watching something she was on the other day, and she's like, oh yeah, people still turn around and say to me, like, even now, like, they'll shout boo at me in the street, or they'll like do things, and I'm like sitting there going, well, I clearly did my job okay, because people still hate me for that one role. And it just made me sit there and go, well, she must be a pretty good actress if she managed to get people to hate her that much. And I agree, like, I absolutely can't stand her now. But yeah, so I want people's opinions on her. As I said, comment down below, tell me what you think of Umbridge. If you have read any of these books, what one your favourite one was. And tell me who your favourite characters are from both the Harry Potter series and the Fantastic Beasts series. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.